So I want to quit my part-time job, the thing that is basically paying for my bare minimum essentials and stuff like that. And I need to plan it out. I have done this before and it's not gone great, but as somebody that, again, has done it before, has a better plan and idea and strategy moving forward, I just kind of want to share this because if you are looking for these kind of videos, you're in the same boat. You are absolutely exhausted. You have an idea and something else that you want to do, but you just don't have the time, energy, or freedom to go ahead and chase after it. And if you are really contemplating quitting your job and going all in on your business, I have 4 things that I really want to make sure you are aware of as somebody, again, who has done that and failed at it, had to get another job, and then cycled through like absolute uncertainty of what my goal and abilities and potential was in life. Like, let's avoid the identity crisis. Let's go into it with a strategy and actually have a realistic approach while also being incredibly optimistic and wanting this to change. So, for me currently, I'm doing a part-time bakery job, which is 3 a.m. to 11 a.m., an 8-hour shift. And we are heading into the holiday season, which means more hours, more work, more stress, maybe a little bit extra money. And so I have a online coaching, health coaching business that I want to resurrect. I am planning on doing YouTube videos, blog posts, and Pinterest to kind of get that out there and see what I can do with it. I have a solid plan. I know what I want to do. And this Brain Dump Virtual is me documenting it because I see so many people talking about business that run businesses. So like their business is talking on business and educating people on the business side of things. But I don't want to do that. I find it very interesting, and that's the content that I am consuming and obviously contributing to at this point. But Brain Dump Virtual is going to be sharing the back end of my health and hobbies business that I want to create, where it's coaching and things like that, and maybe some digital products. So if you are interested in that and you have something similar, or you want to just get in on the online space with content creation, like follow along and subscribe, because that is the content I am going to be sharing here, is hopefully weekly videos and downloads for that. So I'm quitting my job to go full-time into that and then documenting the back end with this. And these are the 4 things that if you are interested in quitting your job as well and wanting to do, that I would recommend and that I am doing as well. So first one, which I fell into so hard in my 20s. I'm 31 now and wanting this to be a much better decade. So the first one is don't quit your job in order to prove that you're committed to your business. I followed so many people that were like, you need to go all in, do something scary, quit your job and really commit to this. And I did without any kind of plan, without any kind of backup. I did to the extreme of, I quit my job, my like health management department job for a local rec center. Not like I was making big bucks to begin with, but I quit that, sold my house, moved back to a city that I didn't think I would ever live in again, and did not have a backup plan. I made $10,000 on my house, and I went through that so quickly because I was paying off of debt. I was living in a house that I didn't want to be in because my other plans had fallen through, and I was racking up bills so fast. Like that money was gone before I could even blink. And then it was credit card debt. And then it was barely making it by. And I honestly, looking back, I probably compartmentalized that so much to where I did not want to think about it anymore. And I honestly don't know how I made it through that. But that is the worst way you can possibly go about that. If you want to start your online business, start with where you're at. Be realistic, be real, be raw. Don't feel like you have to have it all together in order to get started, because you will find people that are interested in you along the way, and just own it. Just commit to it, but do not quit your job in order to prove a point. If you can stick it out and make it work. And I mean, that's what I've been doing the last year, is I've been writing blogs, making videos. Granted, I fell off for a couple of months, but if you're able to commit to it and create a plan, which if you subscribe, I do plan on sharing how I do plan and create content with a job right now. But if you're wanting to quit it or eventually quit it, like make it work for where you're at right now. it's going to be kind of the plan. But we're looking at quitting our job. So if you're not quitting it to prove that you are going to be consistent and can make this business that you want to create work, then make sure we have the next 3 things and then you can think about it. So the second one, at the bare bone basic, make sure that you have 2 to 3 months of basic expenses, or a year at best. If you can save up for a year of expenses because you're not going to make a whole lot, if any kind of money, that would be great. But if you're desperate, have 2 to 3 months saved up. And that's what I'm planning on doing this November and December through the busy holiday season, is saving up as much as I can and just get spending money on bills and Christmas presents, because that's what we're coming up on, but saving everything else so that I just have bills covered for the next couple of months and can really focus on my business. Being realistic, again, I'll share more of that as we go, but being realistic. And kind of going along with that is number 3, is get a job if you need. It's not like a failure if you have to, and be realistic. Do not go full-time, do not overcommit, get part-time hours. This is my job is supposed to be part-time, but 8-hour shifts are a lot. So I'm losing 3 days because I'm working a full-time job and am exhausted afterwards. And that's okay to admit. And if you're looking at wanting to balance health and living and everything like that, check out my health and hobbies channel. I'll link it down below, but only do that if you are interested. If you are interested only in the business side of things, stay here. But it's okay to get a part-time job in order to cover your bills and your basics. It's not a forever thing. It's not a, try not to let it be a rag on your ego or a check on your ego, because I get it. It sucks having to get a part-time job when you've gone full-time into your business and really wanted to focus on your career and it didn't work out. But that doesn't mean it won't ever work out. It just means that you've hit a bump in the road. And if you really do want to see it through, then make it work, whatever that looks like, and get just a nothing burger job that's going to pay your bills and leave you a little bit less stressed. But again, you need to have a plan, which is number 4. You need to have a plan in place to make this work and that you're going to follow and stick with it. I have content plans and ideas for videos, my blog, Pinterest, what I want to do in order to get clients, grow my channel, grow my email list, have a funnel for people to come through at the very basic. And I'm going to stick with that for the next 6 months. I'm not going to stray. I'm not going to click on the clickbaity titles, even though I will probably try and do it as well. But I'm not going to be searching anymore. I've done all of my research. I've done all my planning and preparing. I have a plan and I'm going to stick with it for the next 6 months to a year before I adjust or change or add anything else. Growing a business, you will not become an overnight success. If you do become an overnight success, you will most likely not want it. I have clicked on the $10,000 months, bring in $10,000 in the next month, or have a 5K weekend, or gain 100,000 subscribers in 3 months. That's all great. And you can get some good information from it, but do not keep bouncing from person to person, from guru to guru, in order to find the fast track of doing it. Do your research now while you still have your job. Make a list and be realistic. Be realistic. What can you actually commit to? What do you want to commit to? And go from there. So for instance, if you want to focus on being a content creator, then yes, you will be creating a lot of content on multiple platforms. However, if you want to be a business owner and you want to do coaching, whether it's whatever kind of coaching, sell digital products, sell physical products that you ship out. If you want to have a separate business from the content that you're creating online, make sure it is something that is sustainable, maintainable, and does not become a full-time job. If you want to be a content creator, then that will be a full-time job. Just hours wise, it will take time to create and do all of that. If you are going to be a business owner, however, and have product, then you need to make sure that you are able to create that product and ship it out, and that you are not like doing content creation full time in order to do the business that you actually want to do. Does that make sense? So if I want to be a health coach and have health coaching clients, I need to make sure that I am not doing 40 hours a week of content creation, because then I'm not going to be able to have any clients. So if I want this to work, I am doing 1 weekly YouTube video. I am doing 1 to 2 blog posts a month, and then daily Pinterest, which I am fine with because Brain Dump Virtual started out as a Pinterest management company that I wanted to do. So I have that down. And the rest of the time is going to be focused on getting clients, working with the clients that I currently have, and or continuing my education to be the best coach possible for my clients. And if that is the full-time business I want to have, if that is the business that I want all of the money to come from, then I need to make sure that I have space and time for that. So realistically, the clients that I bring in through health and hobbies will be taking up the time that I would have done with my part-time job. So those 3 8-hour days, I will focus more on filling that time for my clients. Again, does this make sense? This is the plan that I have in place and how I want it to be. So that is how I am going to replace the income, make room for the income, do all of that. So that is what I would recommend if you really do want to quit your job and have a plan in place. You need to already have your business figured out. You already need to know what your product is, who it's for, how you're going to funnel people into that. Like whether it's simply from like what I'm planning on doing is YouTube videos and blogs to get onto my email list, to sell them a spot in my coaching, and going from there. If I create more, then I create more, but keeping it so freaking simple because I have done the funnels. I have done the webinars. I have done the Facebook ads, the Instagram ads, the posting like 10 times a day. I am not doing that anymore. I am doing something that I enjoy, which I enjoy talking and creating. So this is kind of like a live podcast in a sense, and making it work from there. So you need to have a plan. You need to be financially responsible as much as it is, but don't feel like you are proving to yourself or anybody else by doing this to create the life that you want. So if that is what you want to do, then go ahead and do that. Let's plan. Comment down below if you are wanting to quit your job and what your time frame is for it. I will also say, as a side note, I am getting the benefited luxury of getting a little bit of extra money in the new year from a family member that passed. And I want to use that so sparingly, but knowing that I have a little bit of a cushion coming will also be helpful. So I'm doing everything that I can in these next 2 months, struggling through it mentally, but knowing that there is an end in sight, that I will be able to do this full time and know that I have a plan to stick with. And right now it's just getting that schedule in place. So you can also look at it as that. So say if you're planning on like the next couple of months and starting it in 2026, or say you're going to plan the next 6 to 12 months of putting money aside so you can do this full time. Start creating that schedule now. Start with as little as possible, and maybe you'll be able to fast track it sooner because your business will start to grow. You'll have a little bit of a buffer, and you can either save that more away so you can quit sooner, or just invest that more into growing your business however you see fit. But keep it simple, okay? Getting a job is not a bad thing if it's going to get you through to your goals sooner, which is what I have done for the past year, is just done that so I can kind of stay afloat and sticking with the plan. If you have seen this channel before for the first time, or if you look back at all, it has jumped around. It has not been consistent at all. Same with my health and hobbies. It has been questionable. It has been all over the place, but I am going to stick with it now. I'm going to create that schedule. I have my planner. I am designating specific days for it, and we are going from there. So don't quit your job to prove that you are committed enough. If you are going to quit your job, have 2 to 3 months at the bare bone basic to cover your expenses. Up to a year would be best. Get a job if you need to, part-time, just to cover your basics. It does not mean anything about who you are as a person. If anything, it's just proving that you are committed and making it work somehow. and have a plan and stick with it. Don't jump around. Don't question. Stick with it, because it's all about creating repetitions, creating a system that like works, and it has to build off of itself. And you do need that time. Even though I have like 10 years of experience coaching, I know that this will still take time, because I am starting over in a sense of a new, better way of doing it. But I have the experience to know that once I do have clients, I will be able to help them incredibly well, because I have been doing that for years. It's just the business side of things is kind of starting fresh and getting back into the swing of things, which is great. But if that is something that you are interested in, you are wanting to create and grow your business, I'm focusing more on online stuff, then feel free to subscribe, follow along. I'm planning on weekly videos to keep myself accountable, but also sharing for you, because this is the kind of stuff that I wanted to see. Real, realistic, raw, unedited, obviously. And we will go from there. But thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you have a fantastic day. And I will talk to you guys next week on the Brain Note Virtual. Have a great day.